Oh, hi all. My name's Susie, obviously from Esoteric Trading Solutions, and I thought I'd just look at the technicals today. Sorry I'm wearing double glasses again. I still haven't gone to the eye specialist to go and get some glasses. Just been busy working and everything else and just haven't done it. So wear glasses normally just to see, but obviously when I'm looking at really close stuff, I need stronger glasses, and I haven't done it yet. Just want to mention I've got a service, Esoteric Trading Solutions, just a crypto education service, and I do anyone that's on Social Security or healthcare cards or anything else. I'm very happy for you to join my Slack channel. Obviously depending on the circumstances, if you have very little money, you can join for a very minimal fee, or even in some dire cases, I wouldn't even charge anything, because I'm that sort of person. I actually care about the person rather than the money. So, I just feel in life you've got to give back and you've got to help people as much as you can. So, always be happy, be kind to each other, be kind to your family and your friends. Life's really short. People aren't here forever, or animals, so look after yourselves. Let's just go through the technicals. Haven't looked at them for a while, but I'm a bit fed up with this market, and I really think that, it's got to bounce soon. I know we've had this big whale, out of Japan selling the Mt. Gox position. The reported volume is something like 1.9 billion Bitcoin, which has been a massive sell level. Massive volume, it's probably, 3 times as much as the crypto market overall, and that's been weighing down on this market. There's no doubt about it. And from what I can gather, I think he's probably only sold about 800 million or 1.2 billion, so he's still got a bit of selling to do, but I still think certain coins or tokens are very cheap, and I still think eventually they'll go up. And look, how I think about Ripple. Ripple is still extremely cheap, and they keep coming out with good stuff all the time. IOTA, just generally, there's been some really negative flack about IOTA. The system, again, not working. The wallets, people losing their money, and also there's been some incredibly negative flack about Neo. Now, I highlighted Neo, as I said to one of my clients just, a couple of months ago. When I was looking at Neo, there was no activity in terms of their GitHub. Their system was down, day in, day out. They only had about 6 to 8 nodes or something, and they weren't transacting anything. So to think that a crypto coin could be at 120 US or 140 is just outrageous. And even IOTA, I still hate IOTA, and I'd be selling that every second, because those two, as far as I'm concerned, the IT technical ability of them don't work, and I still believe, and I'll stick by it, that they're pretty crappy. And I do believe that IOTA is still a scam, and Neo I don't like either. I think that's almost a scam in itself as well. So anyway, let's look at and I'll probably get some flack from people out there, but anyway, let's look at the technicals for Bitcoin. It has come under a lot of pressure, but we'll go through some of the main technicals that I trade, and we'll see how we go. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin, major support line here is this 7288, which has got to, and the next level obviously is at 9409. Still got this sell on the parabolic sells over on the daily. It needs to really get through this 11638 to look good. Obviously people would be putting in a sell order there at 11566, something like that. That's where I'd be placing a sell order. If I was going to buy this here, I'd be looking to buy this, if I was looking around this level here, 9481, I'd probably put in a stop loss around 9373.5 to see if this thing's going to move up. It is trying. Moving averages are moving up, moving averages, but we've still got the parabolic sell, and it's got a fair amount of resistance here. So I'd be probably a little bit hesitant at the moment. I know that Mt. Gox guy is still selling to liquidate those positions on the bankruptcy to pay out people. So, this is going to be under pressure. There's no doubt about it. But I just feel this market has been down for 3 months, and it's getting a bit tired of being down. So I suspect the rally will come. Just be patient. Institutional money will come in. and I believe it will come in this year, as I've done a YouTube on that before as well. So I think you just got to be patient. I think there's great buying opportunities, and money will eventually come in. I think if you buy now, you'll make money. That's my belief by the end of the year. This is for me. I'm not saying anyone else buy, but I believe if you buy now, if I buy now, I'm going to make money. On the 4 hourly on Bitcoin, looks like to me it can get up to around that 9,868, somewhere there. Probably, I'd be looking to sell around there just to see, if it's going to, I'd be selling there around this level here, 9,979, just before the 10, because that's where it's been hitting the sell level before. But I'd have a fairly tight stop loss. You don't need to take a lot of loss for this. I'd put a sell order in maybe 10,022, and basically, have a buy, a stop loss, as you want to put it, around, 10,073, something like that. Because if it does push up, they're going to probably hit this sell again. But I think if it passes that sell order and you end up buying back and getting stopped out, then you could get a bit of a run out of Bitcoin. But I guess with this Mt. Gox thing, there's still a bit of pressure there. Let's have a look at Ethereum. And these are the ones I trade, which is different to what I hold in my investment portfolio. So my trading portfolio is just very short term, up to about 48 hours. I don't tend to hold things very long. My investment portfolio can be up to 5 years. So that's why I'm very happy just holding Ripple, because it's a long-term bet, and I hold other things as well. Ethereum, still got the sell on the parabolic sell here. Still got the red. Is trying to rally. Again, there's this line of support here at 667. So clearly be buying off 667. It's trading at around 727, something like that. Let's go back to the 4 hourly on that, and these are the time periods that I trade. Again, it's probably hitting a wall around the 736. I probably wouldn't do anything on Ethereum at the moment. I don't like the look of it. It's not grabbing me, but I don't know. I'd have to be more convinced to see if it's going to break the 736. If it breaks this 736, 740-ish, you might get a run out of it. So I'd wait on Ethereum, that's for sure. Let's have a look at Litecoin. Now, I don't mind Litecoin with this light pay story. I'm probably more inclined to look at Litecoin as a trade than anything else at the moment. But let's just have a look here. On the daily, we've still got a parabolic sell, which is not a great story. Everything's sort of red and flatlining. It has to get through this resistance of 205, and it wants to hold this 186. If it doesn't hold 186, it's going to be in this downward channel again. So I think with Litecoin, you could, even though you've got this sell on the parabolic sell, you could really even buy here at 188 with a very tight stop loss around 181, something like that, to see if this thing will push up. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly on this. The 4 hourly, again, it just shows you a bit more. You could have the stop loss around 183, for maybe a buy around, if this is right, around 188, something like that. So the stop loss could be tight. It's got a very small resistance here. This is the Ichimoku cloud, and that's a very small resistance line there. We have been given a buy here, so I'd be more inclined to buy Litecoin at market with a very tight stop loss at around 183-ish. If this is right, 187 something or other. So I'd be buying this with the stop loss at 183-ish and buying it around 187. Just want to have a look at NEO. I don't like NEO fundamentally. So if I don't like something fundamentally, I'm more inclined, obviously, to sell it. And again, if you put a line straight down there, NEO's in that big downward channel, and I do think NEO will go lower. I think the technology is a pile of crap. Just putting it, it's a very rough line, but it looks like it's right on there in that downward channel, which is not a great story. Put another line. I hate these lines here. This has got stuck. They get stuck sometimes. But again, if you get rid of that line, that's back in the downward channel.
And again, on the daily, we've got a sell, and it's all red. So I'm basically a seller of NEO here. Where this market is at the moment, 90.38, I would be selling NEO here with a tight stop loss of 92. I don't like it at all. I think what will happen going forward in this market, I just get the feeling the market is going to start to differentiate itself. So, you know, the market will start looking at the real technology of these crypto coins and see if they work or if they don't work. In terms of the technology, they say what they're doing, whether the actual is true to the technology. And, you know, NEO, the actual is not true to what they're saying. So to me, NEO is a sell, and I think the market will sell it as it grows up, because I think there's a lot of young fudders out there, young punk fudders or whatever you want to call it, or young punks that, you know, pump up all the coins that don't tend to work. And basically, you know, sell down all the coins that do work. So to me, NEO, I'm looking for the sell no matter what. And matter of fact, I'd be selling it here 91.35-ish, with a stop loss around 92 for a bigger move down here somewhere, maybe 60-ish. Again, looking at the 4-hourly, I don't like NEO at all. If you have a look at this on the 4-hourly, when you see the sort of rounded curl, you've got this sort of rounded story. It's not a great story. I've seen this technical picture time and time again, and I don't like it. So I'm definitely a seller of NEO. Another one I don't like is IOTA. As you know, never been a fan of IOTA, never. You know, and I think their management, the coin developers, are arrogant. And I think their fan club are just, you know, all loop-the-loop. You know, they're just this sort of groupie fan club. They remind me of when I was in my, you know, teenage years or 20s, and we used to have live bands we used to follow. They remind me of a bunch of groupies that won't hear any evil, you know, about IOTA. But I've just, you know, I've seen too much and heard too much for me to believe that IOTA is anything but yuck. Again, if I put a line straight through, just on the daily, through IOTA, I hate these blooming lines. Bear with me for a minute. You know, the line is not very good. I'm just trying to, if you put a trend line on that, bear with me for a minute, get this thing. It looks like it's come back into that downward channel, very roughly, or it's just near there. So in my mind, actually, it's not a very good trend line. It looks like, to me, it's back in that downward channel. And in my mind, this thing could get down to 55 cents. I remember when I was looking at this market last year, IOTA was around 55 cents. This sort of level here, down here somewhere, 55, you know, 50-ish. And I think that's where it's going. Again, with IOTA, which I don't think people realise, on coin capital markets, and I've said this before, that's the coin itself is trading as an IOTA, but on coin capital markets, they're showing it as a myota. Now, myota is not the same as IOTA. Myota equals a million myota. So the capitalization of IOTA is actually larger than the capitalization that's showing on coin capital markets, because they've got the wrong supply against the wrong unit. So in other words, the unit of the coin should be the same as the unit of supply. So 1 IOTA equals 1 coin unit in the same currency, if you want to call it that, but not 1 IOTA equals 1 myota. It's not actually correct. And I've actually written to coin cap markets about this, but they haven't come back to me. And I wrote to IOTA, and they never came back to me. So it's actually wrong. You know, 1 myota equals a million IOTA. So I think, you know, IOTA is even more expensive if you just go by a very simple valuation model of the price of the coin by the supply. And in my mind, you know, there's more of a reason to sell IOTA. So the daily to me doesn't look very good. You've got this big parabolic sell here, huge parabolic sell all the way down. If you go to the 4 hourly on this, The 4 hourly doesn't look great either. Again, still got to sell here. Everything's sort of flatlining, but I'm not a favor. I don't like it. A matter of fact, IOTA at the moment, where is it, 135, 136, I would be a happy seller here with a very, a tight stop loss at 142, 143 for a move even down below $1. That's pretty much where I'd be looking for this thing. Another one I want to look at, and I do trade this quite often, is SAN USD. So I'm just going to go through the ones that I trade. And this is one I do trade. And this one, again, the technology is garbage. I've had a look at it. It's got a minimum use coin. It's just crap. And this thing went up from 25 cents all the way up to $8 something on nothing. The only thing it went up on was because of low volume. Now, again, all the young punks out there that don't know too much about markets buy things on buy things on low volume, so they can basically pump them up and take them to ridiculous levels where this thing's not worth anything because it has no utility value at all. And the thing is still down. It's still here at 165. I am a seller of SAN USD for my own money. We've got to sell on this. Sell doesn't look very good to me in this big downward channel. If I put this up here, give me this line. Oh gosh, I hate these lines on TradeView. They just don't stick properly, and they're very annoying. Let me try this again. Double click. I find the lines annoying on this platform, but anyway. And then it sticks somewhere, and then you're in trouble again. Let me delete that. Sorry, guys. It's really annoying. Bear with me for a minute. How do I get rid of that? That's annoying. Sorry. If you put a big line down there. Oh, fruit. No, now it's okay, click. And here we go. Sort of delayed as well, which doesn't help. If I put that line straight down, right there, that's it, click. And if I grab another line, just for a trend line, come on, golly. And I find these things, they're slow, and then it reacts, which is very frustrating. I don't know whether it's my system or what the story is, but let me just try that again. But again, this does have a big trend line down, and as far as I'm concerned, I'd be a seller of this coin. I don't believe in it fundamentally, and fundamental technicals and the IT of it, the utility of the coin, and I just think this is a big sell. And to me, it's heading down to a minimum of 0.98, but even a break of that could see it back down to 25 cents again. If you go to the 4 hourly on that, as you can see, big downward channel, and I would still be a seller anywhere underneath that line, 177, something like that. Another one I trade, and I'm just going to give you the ones I trade because you do get a bit of movement out of them. EOS. EOS is a platform, and again, I felt this platform has been a little bit overvalued as well. They're comparing it to an Ethereum or a Waves or a Neo, but again, this thing got up to nearly $20, $18.50 I should say, and still in a big downward channel. And again, if we put a line straight down that from there to there, okay, just golly, sorry about this, just really annoying me, this. Just like it's almost like it's a time delay of some sort. Big downward channel on this thing, and if you've got a downward trend line like that, and a parabolic sell, you just can't go against that trend. So this to me could potentially get down to 234, something like that on the daily. Everything else is telling me this thing is a sell, and the fundamentals back up that story as well. And again, as you can see, it is a sell. You might get this up to potentially maybe, $6 something, $6.46, but I would be looking for the sell on that one as well. Just of interest, I'd like to have a look at the Bitcoin Cash, which has had a bounce of recent times. On the 4 hourly, it's got a parabolic buy. Looks like it's come out of its downward trend, so just keep an eye on that. But it has got a big level of resistance on the Ichimoku, so I'd imagine on this one that will come under a fair amount of resistance. So I'll probably leave that one. Let's have a look at Ripple, because fundamentally I really believe in this coin. They have put on a lot of new clients. To give you an idea, they put on the Saudi Arabia Monetary Authority, which is the central bank of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest countries in the world with oil receipts and everything else. And that client to Ripple is a $4 billion client. So that is massive. $4 billion client to Ripple, not to mention all the other clients it put on. And in the last quarter, Ripple made literally about 192 million US. Now, if that company, again, I've said this before because I was an equity broker and I know my stuff, and I was a fund manager for many years working for Morgan Stanley and Citigroup and the like. If that company was listed on the stock exchange and had no debt, which they have no debt, and they had the technology they've got, they will be treated like a Google, literally, or an IT company like an Apple, with 192 million, up in P&L, profit and loss, P&L profit particularly, in a quarter, with cash on their balance sheet, anything from 15 billion to 25 billion, and they put on a $4 billion client, their stock would literally be up 10% on the day or more. So the crypto market is pretty stupid. The Ripple one, which is an investment for me, probably will take a long time because there's so many people that are against it because they believe it's centralized technology. But it's not centralized technology, it's decentralized. The management that own it is Ripple, the company. And it's no different to funding the company, whether it's through cryptocurrency or whether it's through foreign currency, whether it's through share equities or whether it's through bonds. It's no different than funding the company through that. Rather than going to the cryptocurrency market, they could have gone to the bond market or the equity market. It's a funding tool, number one, but then also Ripple itself, has usability and utility, and also the technology settles instantly, which no one else can do in that sense for the volume, and creates liquidity. But anyway, let's have a look at the daily on this. Again, we've got the parabolic sell here, big level of resistance here between 193 and 99 cents. Looking at this, there's a buy here, but there is a sell here. Look, they could get it down to 55.60. They seem to be intent on selling Ripple no matter what. But, for every fall, for every bit it drops, I'm basically a happy buyer. I've been buying off this level here around 75, 76. To me, it does look like it can bounce out of this. It's got a parabolic buy on the 4 hourly. I'm just a buyer overall because I can see this eventually taking out its highs. Now, it might take 2 years, and I've always had this as a 2-year view. This one, for me, is not a trade like the other ones that I was talking about. This is basically a 2 to 3 year investment for me. The other coins and tokens I was talking about are basically trading positions of 48 hours. Anyway, thanks guys. I always go too long. I'm sorry about this. My apologies. I'm trying to make these shorter. But I really hope you're all well. Please look after yourself. Be kind to each other in this world of lack of empathy. I think we're human. Please maintain your empathy and your kindness. Hope you have a good day and look after yourselves. Cheers for now, and look forward to talking to you again.